any information that probably confusing will be mentioned over here so that you can complete your application with this guide. So you see a number. This number is you can find in your study permit. If you see your study permit along with the line that says study permit in black bold letters, you see a IUC and a number. If you have an old study permit, it starts with 88 or 9, something like that. If it is a new study permit, it starts with like 11, then the number. So that will be you see a number, unique client identification number. That number will be the same for your study permit, your post-graduation booklet. If you apply for permanent residency, that same number will be there until you become a Canadian citizen. So that will be your UCA number. I want service and you can choose English or French. Then I'm applying for one or more of the following. You can just click on the first, second, or it's second option. Apply for work permit for the first time or with a new employer. So this would be the option. Just click on that one. Then again, personal details, family name, first name. Again, if you have only first name, only one name in your passport, use that under family name or last name. Then leave the given name column blank. Then complete your personal details, place of birth. Sometimes I have noticed that students use their local place of birth, but only thing IRCC will verify is with your passport. So make sure that you put the same information as in your passport. If it is like probably the city and the state or something like that. If it is written in your passport, that city and state, right in the same way in your place of birth, because that's one thing that they can verify. This information is with your passport. Then, if you stayed anything anywhere, your current status in Canada. Sorry. As a student, from today, from the issue date of your first study permit, and to date will be the expiry date of your current study permit. So that will be your status from an two. Then the next one. Um, if you stayed more than 5 years in any country other than your country where you born, um, or Canada, you can also include that information over here, and your status, then your marital status. Once you complete that one, your language, if you are familiar with in your language, you can mention that one, and you're able to communicate in either French or English, you can select that one. Your passport number, passport issue date and expiry date. Then okay, yeah, that's why I added this one. So there is one more question, that's a national identity document. If you have any document other than your passport that issued nationally, so that you can add over here. So if it is if it's driving license, most of the country driving license is not a national ID; it's a provincial ID. So some countries like Canada has a social insurance number, or similar documents might have in your country. You can add that one as a document number. And issue date and expiry date on this one is completely optional. That means if you have that written in your document, you can mention that one. Otherwise, you can leave those columns blank. And this is something you can. It's optional. Your passport is not an optional one. You have to provide that information. But when it comes to national ID document, if you do not have another national ID other than passport, you can simply say no to this one. Then contact information. Some says some students, if because you're graduating from your program, and if you have a plan to move out of the city or the province, and if you already have some place in mind, and if you have friends staying there, you may use that place as your current mailing address, and the current place where you stay as your residence address. So both can be like two address or different. Or if you are staying with like too many people in an apartment or things like that, and if you think that you may not get your actual document over there, and if you want to mention some secure address, you can also use the current mailing address as a secure one, and use your current address as your residential address. If you see, um, address, same address for both, like your current address is using for your mailing address, you just type mailing address, then you just click yes, I'll be using that same address for you, my mailing address, then it'll be okay. Your phone number, you have to select Canada, then cellular, which type of phone number, then provide that one. Uh, coming to Canada, when you come to Canada the first time, date and place of your original entry to Canada, the date of your first study permit issue date, and the place where you received it. If you landed in Toronto, maybe Toronto or Vancouver or in Montreal, you can mention that one. Your original purpose to come to Canada, study. Um, if applicable, provide the document number of your current study, current document. So current document is your study permit. The way I said, like the UCA number, on top of UCA number, you will see another number with a black bold letters starting with F312, something like that. That is your document number. You can just copy that from your study permit to over here. So that is answered. Then details of intended work in Canada. In that section, you just select the first question, you select from the drop down menu as post graduation work permit. Once you select that one, leave second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and seventh column blank. You do not need to provide any information. Sometimes students are tempted to provide some information because they have a job offer, they have a very good offer from a company, but still you don't need to provide that one because you're getting this work permit based on your not based on your future employment. This is based on your past studies that you completed, eligible studies that you completed with Cambrian College or with any post-secondary institution that are eligible for post-graduation work permit. So you just need the one information post-graduation work permit. Then it should be open. It should not be limited to any employer. So all those columns you can simply leave. Answer the eighth question, no, because you're not applying for you do not have a provincial nominee program, so you can say no to that one. First and eighth, you don't need to provide any information in between. Then education, you already completed your post-secondary education in Cambridge, that's why you are in this place, so you can mention that one, which program you completed, school or facility name, Cambridge College of Applied Arts and Technology. You can mention the to date as the month and year of your completion, Sudbury, Canada. Then employment option. Under employment, you see the current activity or occupation. You still considered as a full-time student until you graduate from the program. So your current activity or occupation still considered as your full-time activity is student. So you can mention that one, company name, again Cambridge College and Applied Arts and Technology. Then you can provide the to date. If you recently graduated, if it's 2022 06, you can mention that one, or 07 if you graduation date. Then if you have any other employment history, like if you work part-time or you work before coming to Canada, if you work back home, you can use the second and third column because it's three columns available there. First one, you can provide the current college information or student information. Second one, you can use for your previous employment or your part-time employment that you completed while you're studying. And you can also mention if you work back home, you can mention that too in the third one. So that's about employment. I think someone asked that one. I think I clarified that question. If you have any questions further, you can come back to the later um, question answer session. Then background information. Any question that you say yes to this section to answer that or clarify that in the column I mentioned. So read the question carefully, then answer that one. So if you say no, you don't need to provide any information. So one question, first question I leave it with you. Then the second one, have you ever remained beyond the validity of your status or attended school without authorization or worked without authorization in Canada? If you've done anything like that, or if your study permit expired and you didn't submit one before the expiry and you had a registration period or things like that, you can mention that one. If not, you can say no. Have you ever refused a visa or study permit in an entry to or ordered to leave Canada or any other country, if you had a first study permit application refusal and when you reapply, it's got approved. In that case, even if you reapplied and got approved, doesn't mean that the first refusal is not there. The first refusal is still there. You can mention that one. You can say yes to that question and say, my first study permit application got refused and I reapplied and got approved from this period to this period. Even if you do not have any refusal from Canada or any other country, you can say no to that question. Then the third one, or C, have you have previously applied or entered to enter or remain in Canada? You can say all the students who are in Canada can say yes to that question because you are here because you applied and you approved for study permit. So you can say yes to that one, and we can mention that apart from the study permit got approved from the issue date of your first study permit to the expiry date of your current study permit will be the duration. Then have you so then you can answer any the further questions. And if you say yes to any, then you have to provide an explanation. If you complete the background check, then it's a signature part. In that one, because you're applying online, you don't need to print the document and sign with your pen. No, you do not do that one, please. Then it will not be accepted to IRCC. So some students just type their name and date over there, which is fine, but you do not require to provide anything or do anything in this signature panel because you have an online signature coming. Once you successfully upload all this document, that will come back. So once you complete all those requirements other than signature, you can just click on validate. Then if everything is all the required information are in the system or in the application form, it will create a page like in the right side with the barcodes. That means that is ready to apply or you successfully completed all those requirements in the form. If you are unable to get this one, go back to your application, you will see some red columns, fill that one, again validate, then you will receive the barcode page. Once you have the barcode page, that application form is ready to upload. Save it in a folder. So normally what I recommend is like save all the required documents and application form in one folder so that it will be very easy to upload when when you start uploading, because it again straight away direct to the same folder. So once you complete all your application, it may take like maybe 1 hour or 2 hours, depends on how uh, you complete the application. By the time you automatically logged out from your MyCIC account or IRCC account, so login back with your login credential, answer the questions, then you will see uh, your application over here. Say continue an application that you haven't submitted. So click on continue application. That will take you to the question answer review one. Just before this one, like all the questions again, you will get not answering, but just to review. So if you do not have to review and if you don't want to change anything, you just continue. Then the steps to complete, continue. Then you will see the document checklist. Once you have the document checklist, you upload a document, then select the folder, select the file, then upload or open. Then that will automatically that uploads. Once it's all uploaded, then that turns green. So if you upload all the documents, then you will be able to see the next button or continue button. Click on that one. Once you continue, that will take you to the electronic signature portion of the application. So you just click on I agree, that turns blue. Then you have to type your given name, last name, then one of the security question. Once you answer the security question, click on sign. Once you click on sign, again that consent comes with your or signature consent comes with your name. Again, transmit and pay. Once you click on transmit and pay, that will take you to the um, credit card information page. You have to provide your credit card number, name, the expiry date, and the security code at the back. Once you provide that information and submit, you get the message that you successfully completed your application. Then you can go back to your application. Maybe in 5 to 10 minutes, you will receive the message that you successfully completed the application. So you have that message, you and your study permit is valid at the time. You are eligible to work full time until you get an update from IRCC on your study post graduation work permit application. If the update is approved, you get a new permit. So normally what happens is like you receive an email, there is an update on your IRCC portal. Then you log in back to your account, then you see the update. Sometimes the update will be you have your post graduation document is approved, then the validity of this one, it's a PDF document. Once you have the document, it may take like up to 6 weeks to get your actual document. So once you receive that notification, pay attention to the mailbox, because every day check that one, because within weeks you will get your actual post graduation work permit. Once you have the document, make sure that the informations are correct, the eligibilities are correct, everything is good. Then you can also apply for your temporary resident visa if you're from a visa required country, so that you can travel outside of Canada with your valid post graduation work permit and visa. If you have any questions, you can always come back to either myself or Marlon. We are now not located in 2269. We are located in Marlon's office now. It's 1605. You can also book an appointment to us through contacting us through international advising at CambrianCollege.ca, or simply logging in or selecting the book an appointment tab in your iSend app and select immigration, so that we can book an appointment. You can see our available schedule, so that you can book an appointment with either myself or Marlon. Questions?
Questions here. Let me see. Thank you, Sibin. I think has been very good reply so far. Okay, I will go back. Can we go back to the questions that were asked, or you already answered those questions? Okay, Sibin and Marlon, education. My highest level is master degree, and in terms of the IMM 5710. Education, my highest degree is master degree, not a college diploma. Should I put and not add Cambrian College diploma? Should I provide a copy of West evaluation in my diploma?
You can still provide. I know that you completed a master's from back home, but you still provide your Cambrian information, because that will be the question is like, have you completed any post-secondary education? It can be your master's, it can be your any degree. This one is the recent one. At the same time, this is the one that they use for your post-graduation work permit eligibility calculation. So it's good to provide this information than your degree from back home, because that needs, again, the way you mentioned, like the base assessment and everything. Instead of that one, it's very simple. You can provide your post-secondary education that you recently completed from Cambrian College and use that one, that information, and it's very easy to validate for them too.
Okay, employment. Do I put Cambrian College and my student status as a current occupation section? Do I put the periods of unemployment in table 2? What do I put in occupation and employer boxes, or should I mention those time periods in my explanation letter?
Which so the first one, you like, because it's under employment, it says like current activity or occupation, that you can put as Cambrian information, because your full-time activity was a full-time student. If you're employed at Cambrian or any other employer as a part-time, you can use that in the second one. You can mention that you like the position, the employer company name, the location, and everything as per your employer location. And if you're using some employment information from your back home, you can also use that information over there in the third or second or third.
Okay, what do I include to my application if I have been refused a visitor visa to the United States?
Excuse me, can I interrupt?
Yes, go ahead.
Those are my questions, and it's still not clear to me. Should I mention the times of unemployment in this form or not?
No.
Okay, thank you. Should I mention them in my explanation letter?
No, post-graduation work permit application doesn't know that doesn't go that in depth. So you can just provide the information if you have any employment or things like that. They're not looking into if you're applying from within Canada. They are not looking very keen to the time that you're away from work and things like that. No, you don't need to provide. You can just provide basic information and get your post-graduation work permit.
Thank you.
Okay, what do I include to my application if I have been refused to a visitor visa? Okay, Natalia, since you are giving so much personal information in here, the thing is possible you can book a meeting with Sibin, and then you can go in those level of details, because you're giving too much. I mean, I would think personal information in here, and then you might be giving more details if we keep asking questions. Would you mind to set up a meeting with Sibin so we can discuss this personal question with him? Is that possible?
I'd like to, but the situation is that I would love to complete my application before Saturday, because on Saturday I am supposed to go to the workplace.
Okay, you have a
Yes.
job already. Okay. Okay, well, go ahead, Sibin.
Basically, Manuel, if you have any refusal or anything, probably you get the communication in the return form. So you can just mention that I have the visa refusal. Probably they will mention the reason in that one. I had a visa refusal from US during the time. If it is before your study permit application, and if you already mentioned that in the study permit, ISCC already aware of that one. But you can say I'm also attaching the refusal letter that I received from the embassy, or if they just simply refuse, you can mention that one. The thing is, if you do not disclose that to IRCC, that will be a problem. So you can just mention if you have the refusal information or the background why they refused. You can just mention in that explanation column. If you have further details, like a detailed explanation to provide, you can just say that I got a refusal from US visa or US embassy when I applied for this one, and I'm attaching my detailed explanation on that one under client information. Then you can attach that information under client information. So if you want to provide any additional information through your application along with your application, use the client information. That is the portal available, or that's the option available for you to provide any additional information other than the required information you need to provide to IRCC. You can use the client information.
Okay. In the form 5707 family information, may I state that the same place of birth in both forms, as I can only choose USSR in 5710, but the current name of the place is the Republic of Kazakhstan. What do I state in my 5707?
Ooh.
She was born in the previous USSR, but then the new one is, the correct name is, as we speak today, is Kazakhstan.
Oh, okay.
Same
Excuse
problem
me,
with.
I interrupt once
Right.
again. Sorry. So Sibin mentioned that we must state what is in our passports. I've
Okay.
got the USSR in my passport, so probably I should state it everywhere. No?
You have a USSR passport, or
In my passport,
yeah,
with which I entered Canada, my birthplace is USSR.
it doesn't say a city.
No, no city.
In your current passport, it says USSR. It doesn't say
That's the
Kazakhstan.
birthplace.
Right.
Wow.
Oh man, same happened with those not born in Serbia, Czechoslovakia, and all those. They keep changing name, and then
No, but
shoot.
the birthplace will be the city. The city.
Yeah, but
They won't put the city in that one.
no, normally it's only the country. When you apply for family information and ask
Birthplace in
family,
the city. Do you have that? Okay. Can it's the same student?
Yeah, the same student. We're talking about Natalia at this point of time.
So normally the birthplace will not be the country, like normally the city. Then normally they add the province. That's why I said that one. Like if it is, if the country is no longer, then you can the in the same with the same name, you can provide the place that you born. Then if they need, they will check for further details, because users are they already aware that that country is no longer.
Yeah, Sibing, in the form 5707, it does not ask for a city. It's asked for the country.
Oh, okay. But it's country of birth or country of okay.
Country
I
of
thought
birth. It says country of birth. I'm watching I'm looking at the form 5707, and it is clearly says country of birth. Here's the challenge. If your passport says that you were born in USSR, that's what you have to type.
Yeah.
Anyway, at the very end of the process, Natalia, the officer who's going to see your case, he will see your passport photo. And if your passport photo says that you were born in USSR, that's what it will say.
You, Natalia, I will like when you provide that explanation, like the way you mentioned the same thing, like you have a clear explanation for your answer. So you just mentioned the same way, like I born and my passport says this one, so I added this one. So this is my birthplace and the current country based on the city that I born. But my passport has this one. That's why I put that. Because passport is the passport is the key information for, because that's the only thing that they can review. So if you have an explanation, you put that under client information for officer's clarification.
Okay, now we'll continue here. So will I get those okay, so will we get those at once in website? Because I keep hearing that unofficial transcript will be there, but what about the completion letter? The completion letter, you will receive it by email, by the way. You receive an email by Cambridge College saying this you completed your program, and it will be a PDF format.
No, that now available from last semester onwards. That is available in your My Cambrian. So you will in your My Cambrian account, you will see your
completion letter.
Course completion letter now. Yeah.
Hi,
Okay.
how are you guys?
Go ahead.
Yes, just to interject, because I think that's part of one of my questions.
Yeah.
So you said the transcript and the completion letter will be there together at once, right?
Transcript, even if you check now, you will be able to see your transcript.
Unofficial transcripts.
Unofficial
transcript. No official transcripts.
Okay, so at the completion, then the letter then will be there, so we can get both of them together to apply.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just wait for your course completion letter available in your My Cambrian, then you can use that course completion letter. Then you can download your unofficial transcript copy from Cambrian website and apply for your graduation work permit. Later, once you receive your official transcript, you may use that one. Like you can, if IRCC asks for an update, you can provide that one. Or even if they didn't ask, you can also upload your official copy of transcript through case-specific inquiry form if you want to update your application, so that IRCC have the two documents to verify your eligibility. Then they will process your post-graduation work permit application.
Okay.
Thank you.
Sibin, okay. I just have a question regarding to, I will apply for my work permit next week when I get the completion letter. But the thing is, my passport expire next year on April. So as I read from the website, the IRCC website, they said we will give you only like until the expiration of the passport. So what's the next step? I should like apply for extended my work permit, also write explanation letter, or what?
So when you receive your post-graduation work permit, the date will be the date of expiry of your post-graduation work permit will be the same date as your passport expiry. But normally that also includes that that you're able to apply for an extension for the remainder period, or you're eligible to extend it once you renew your passport. Some wording will be at the end. If even if there is no wording at the end, you're eligible to apply for an extension. It's not an extension for the remainder period of your post-graduation work permit. Only thing is, once you renew your passport, you should apply on paper for the open work permit application. Then you explain, you attach your current work permit, then they can verify that, because both your passport and your document will expire at the same time. They will issue the remainder period of your post-graduation work permit.
So it will be on paper, not online?
Not online. For the second one, not the first one.
Okay, I got it.
Okay, is the medical test, I guess that she means, is the medical test we did while applying for a study permit should still be valid for post-graduation work permit?
When did you apply for when did you apply for study permit? It will be valid from 12 months from that day.
Yeah,
Go for your medical. So most likely it will be over.
yeah.
But which program you're graduating depends. If you're graduate from general business or like IBGC or any of those programs, you like, if you're graduating now, most likely only program that requires a medical is if you're graduating
Personal
from
support work.
a personal support worker or addictions and mental health.
Mhm.
So if you're not graduating from any of this program, then probably you don't need a medical. If you just mention your program, then I will say if you're required to, or if you already been in Canada not more than 6 months, then that would be another condition. But otherwise, medical.
Okay. My course will start from July, but I will be traveling to Canada in September and 2 months. I will study online from India until August. So would I be eligible for work permit even though I will be attending only 6 months of study in Canada? Okay, Harsh, in your question, pretty much please remember that Immigration Canada is granting you as a student to study in your country online until August 31st. So whatever classes you took between whatever day you start to August 31st, you will be okay. If you come to Canada and by September you start classes live in Canada, or at least in Canada, then Immigration Canada will not have any issue to grant you a post-graduate work permit, providing that you fill all the regulations too, not only that one. But in terms of taking classes online from India, that will not affect your eligibility to apply for post-graduate work permit, providing that you follow the rest of the rules. So you're okay then. Can I apply for my spouse work permit after I submit my application for post-graduate work permit, provided that her current permit is valid until September 2022 and haven't gotten the 3 pay slip? Yes, Christian. Actually, Christian, most of the students, that's what they do. If your wife or husband happens to have the work permit valid until, I don't know when, maybe 6 months from now, a year from now, you don't touch your husband or wife post-graduate work permit, meaning work permit. It doesn't make sense. So you just wait until the moment that you need. Yes, you can wait until you have the 3 pay slips. If I were you, I will wait until close to the moment that your wife or husband will get her valid permit getting to expire. I will do it 2-3 months before, but I wouldn't rush right now if that is the case. Can I work if some number is expired and person will not receive? Yes, we already answered that question. I graduated 2-year programs. I just got one official transcript, which includes grades for both programs, but the graduation letters are separate from program. There are 2 letters, right? Can I use the software to merge 2 graduation letters into one file and upload it into my application online? Well, we normally request or suggest the students to give an explanation letter. Sibin, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I was just looking for some information on the employment or work information to complete. Like, if see this one, this is the post-graduation instruction guide, and it's from IRCC itself. So they say employment or work occupation for and post-graduation work permit applicants, information in this session is not required. So that means if you are not providing that that employment information, that one first, second, and third one, you don't need to provide it, but just provide the basic information is also not a problem, because someone was asking about whether we need to mention the gaps in the work and things like that. It's for post-graduation work permit, it's not required. I just want to show you that one. That's why I just.
Okay.
Okay, Marlon, go ahead.
I'm sorry. I will go back to
Sorry
the.
to disrupt. I think you may have skipped my question high up there before.
Okay, would you mind to say it, Fatima? So it's gonna be easy for me.
When applying for PGWP, what should I apply for my minor who has a US passport and a Canadian visitor record?
Your minor has a Canadian visitor record, and that's valid up to what time?
November.
Well, how old is
November.
he?
He's 5. He has a US passport too.
Yes, he can apply for
if you
study
want to-
permit.
No,
Yeah,
I want
you
to know
can-
when I'm applying, what do I do in his own situation?
You say your family, like you want to include a family member to your application, you have to say yes to that question. Then you include your kids or kids study permit application, because now he's 5, he's eligible to get a study permit in Canada. You don't need to provide any valid, an LOA, letter of acceptance or offer letter from college, because it's a secondary or primary or secondary school. You can just apply for a study permit, and study permit is more valid. They will be studying in Canada, so you can include that one. Only condition is for your spouse open work permit. The requirement is like the job requirement is there, but if you're just including your another family member as a dependent and a study permit or a visitor record, it doesn't mean that you cannot apply. You can include that application with your post-graduation work permit application.
Thank you very much.
No problem.
Steven, sorry to cut in. Well done, and thank you very much for the presentation so far. I want to know if a student who began a program, 1-year program in fall 2021, and took a break to continue from fall 2022. At the end of the program, will he or she be eligible for postgraduate work permit?
Okay,
So-
when did you finish the first program? That was the question we were asking.
No, we didn't. We just took the first term and then took a break because of some family issues.
Okay, I'm sorry. Let me ask the question differently. Did you finish your first program?
It's not, yeah, the first time for the program, yes. It's not a full program. It's a 1-year program, but I just did the first term in fall 2021 and took a break because of some issues in the
So
family.
you did not finish the first program?
No, but I'm
No.
continuing this term in fall 2022.
For
finish.
for a completely different program?
No, the same.
Second
Oh,
semester,
you
second
create a
semester.
break. So you
Yeah.
create a second semester, you create a break. Okay,
Yes.
I will
So-
suggest you to have a meeting, because that is a little bit more complicated your case. We are not talking about postgraduate work permit at this point of time. We are talking about academic break. So would you mind to set up a meeting with Sibin, and then you can talk more directly about your case?
Yeah, sure, I will.
I think
Please.
I generally answered that question. Like the way you mentioned the eligibility, like if we are creating a gap in your program, with the gap you are not eligible for post-graduation work permit. But if you have a valid reason, you have.
Hello, Sibin,
Yeah.
you're off. You're off. Okay, I will. Okay, Doris, I will suggest you to contact Sibin and follow up with that question, because it is not that simple, unfortunately.
Okay,
Okay.
I will. Thank you.
Okay, I'm sorry about that. But anyway, I will continue here to see if we have more questions. Sibin, I hope he comes back anytime. In the meantime, I will check if I have more questions in here. Could you please email this presentation slides to all the students who attend the session It would be great to help and reference guide. Yes, we do have this guideline, and yes, you can, you will eventually receive it. But Sibin, are you there? Where can I take a medical exam for post-graduate work permit? Okay, there is a place, it says Physicians Immigration Canada. Let me check if I can find it in here. Can you hear me, guys? At this point of time, I don't know if you are hearing me.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, thank you, thank you. Okay, I think my coworker has an issue with that. Okay, medical exam, IRCC medical panel right there. Okay, find a physician. Okay, here's the, please, for those who are looking for medical doctor for to apply for either post-graduate work permit, please notice that the same exam for, oh, I'm sorry, I just sent it one directly to one person. I will send it to anybody. The same exam that you do for medical, for post-graduate work permit, for study permit, and for PR is exactly the same medical exam. And there is a doctor in Sudbury you can go to. But anyway, I sent to everybody right now in the chat the link to get a doctor in Canada. I am assuming that you are in Canada, and that's why you want to have a medical test. However, please, before you make an appointment to have a medical test, please check if you're eligible or you need to have a medical test before you do so. You can apply to post-graduate work permit without a medical test, and then the system will ask you for a medical test if you need it. But anyway, but I will suggest that you personally check if you really need to have a medical test. Most of you guys do not need it, but you might be the case that you need it. Is it true that with post-graduate work permit application, you can come back to Canada in case I am sent to United States for training purposes, even without a visa? This could be in process. Yes, but I will not count because of COVID-19 right now. I don't know. COVID-19 has making some changes, but with post-graduate application, you can come back. I guess, Christian, that you're telling us that you will plan to go to United States while you're applying, even though you might have a visa to United States, I guess, I'm guessing here, and you don't have a visa to come back. If that is the case, I hope that your study permit is valid.
Yeah, actually, like I might be sent to the United States, let's say in a couple of months. So I'm not sure if I will get my work permit and my visa
that's
back.
okay. But do you have your study permit valid?
Yeah.
Until when?
September 7.
When do you plan to go to United States?
They haven't scheduled still the training.
Just give me a guess a date.
Probably October.
October, but by then your study permit will expire.
Yeah, I will just have the application for the postgraduate and eventually the visa as well.
Okay, let me go back to you, Christian.
Okay.
Let me go back to you because in that case it's a little bit different. Okay, guys, I think Sibing is gone. We already answered.
I'm back, Marlon.
Oh, okay.
Just kidding.
Marlon, sorry to interrupt. Just one last question.
I'm sorry. Can I just? That's okay. I will give you this option, but would you please? The last question from Christian Ballesteros. He's here. His question is it true that he will apply for post-graduate work permit, but he thinks that his company might send him to train to United States? He has a visa to United States, I guess, and then he needs to come back, but he doesn't have a visa to come back to Canada because his permit will be expired. His study permit will expire in September. He might be sent to United States in October. By then, his study permit will be expired and no visa in his hands. Sibing.
But you are applying for post-graduation work permit, and most likely your post-graduation work permit will be approved by the time, I believe.
No. He might apply for today. We are applying in June. What if he's approved? That's okay. But what if he's not approved? not approved yet. Why? What if his postgraduate work permit is still in process?
He have to come back before the current study permit and visa expiry date.
Okay.
If because otherwise
you're lost again, Sibin.
Otherwise, what happens is, oh no.
Go ahead, come back. Go ahead, say.
You apply from within Canada application. That means your application will be processed and send the document. So if you're outside Canada at the time, you will not be able to receive your document. And once you have the document, you can apply for visa even from outside Canada. You can apply because it's a visa always an outside Canada application. Even if you're applying from within Canada, it's considered as an
it's
outside
considered
Canada.
Yes, it's considered outside. Yeah.
Then it goes like once it's approved, you can go to the nearest office or the visa office to stamp it to your passport. It does not to be in Canada. It can be anywhere, um, uh, any case processing center in the world. So that way, once you have your document approved, at least you can stay back in any other country until you get your visa approved to come back to Canada. But if you're leaving before the document approved, I strongly recommend you to come back before your current document expiry, because that has a visa. Then you can come back even for like 1 or 2 days to get the document or apply for your like once you like if it is after that one, it will be so hard because there is a way, but that is little risky. I can explain that, but that's again this is also a risk. The other one will be little more risk because that includes, like, if let's say if you went to US, but you already applied for your post graduation work permit from here, then you have to arrange someone to get that document, then send
it to you
in US address. Then you can apply for a visa with that document. That is little complicated. But if there is no way, we can do that one, or we can
you can arrange that one, but it's too much risk, Christian.
Too much risk, and it's not a recommended way.
So. Okay, Baki, do you have any questions, Sharma? Baki, are you there? You raise your hand. Baki, okay, gone.
Hello. This is the question for Sibin. I have already sent him 3 questions. If you can see in his chat.
Marlon?
In the chat? To me or to Sibin? Or to everybody?
Oh, she sent to me, I believe.
Okay.
Will it be a problem? I already submitted post-graduation work permit, IMM 5710. I wrote my passport number and nationality. No, it's not an issue. It's not required because you're already providing your passport complete information just about that one. See, if they put some columns in the application form, they don't need you to repeat the one. Only thing is they need additional information. That's why they're providing. If you provide the same information, nothing wrong. They will not refuse your application just because of that one. Only thing is, if you have an additional information, you can. That's the option to provide that additional information over there. In employment section, I didn't mention my first column, the student. The way I showed you the instruction guide from IRCC on post-graduation work permit, co-op or post-graduation work permit application, as are not required to complete the employment information. That means even if you didn't provide or provide some information, that doesn't affect your application. I have submitted post-graduation work permit already, but as I have 2 mistakes made in IMM 5710, can I submit? You don't need to resubmit an application because the 2 mistake, the way you believe that's a mistake, it's not mistake. When I say or guide you that way, like when I guide the best way that I know. That doesn't mean that what you've done is a mistake, because these 2 things are not affecting your application at all, and it's not a serious mistake. So you don't need to worry. You don't need to submit another application. You can continue with your application. This will not be a reason for any refusal of your application. I cannot guarantee completely, but these 3 or 2 reasons what you mentioned will not be any reason for refusal.
Okay, Achintaya Rawat.
Yes, Marlon. So I have a question regarding this explanation only that Sibin gave. So in the employment section, I believe like the first column is mandatory to fill. The other columns are not required, I guess.
No, your education is
Employment.
education is required because you complete that one. But
Okay.
employment, see the way it's written in the instruction guide for co-op
Okay.
and post-graduation work permit application. Information in this section are not required. It doesn't
Okay.
say first or second. It's not required. If you're providing that one, normally we'll ask you to provide that information over there. My intention of providing that one is that even though the first one is education, give you one chance to apply. Let's say if you're completing 2 program with Cambrian, then your current activity or occupation, that you can mention the total duration of study. It says study. It's not about which program in that current activity or occupation. So if you completed 2 programs, you add the 2 programs duration over there, so that the officer can view that you completed 2 program or you are in study period from the duration. So that will be an added evidence. That's why we provide that one, but it's not mandatory as per them. But because there is 2 columns available, you can provide that information. If you provide some information or not provide some information, will not be a reason for any refusal of your post-graduation work permit.
Okay, the last 2 questions, because Sibing is, for the record, Sibing is not in well conditions right now, so he's trying his best to answer the question. So Akshay, please.
Yeah, so hi. So my question is regarding the transcript and course completion letter. Hypothetically, if a student has completed a 2 different program and he has received a 2 different transcript and 2 different course completion letter. So in this case, if in this case he had he need to upload 2 different transcript and 2 different course completion letter in a same document, or he can upload this 2 different transcript and 2 different course completion letter into the other document required by the IRCC?
Very good question, Akshay, because you in each section of the uploading document, you can only provide one PDF document. So if you have 2 programs transcript, even if you completed from Cambrian College the 2 programs, we only give one transcript for all the programs that you completed. So if you complete both the programs from Cambrian, you only receive one transcript. But you may completed one program from any other college in Canada. In that case, it will be like you can attach both the transcript as one PDF document. Either you can scan it as one PDF, or if you want to use like a PDF merger or something like that, you can use that, and you can attach both and upload in one PDF document. The same way, the course completion letter from both the institution can be, or even the same institution, can be added as one PDF document and attached or uploaded on that required place. If you complete 2 programs, I strongly recommend you to complete an explanation letter, because sometimes the officer may not see the second one. So just for a precaution, if you add that document and explanation letter that you completed 2 programs, and request to consider both the programs duration for your post-graduation work permit eligibility, that's where the officer, if they didn't pay attention, they can notice that one, and they can also process that one. If you want, you can also provide along with your along with your explanation, you can add your 2 course completion letter and transcript. If you want to add, that will be an additional one. But if you provide that along with the course completion letter in one document, then again transcript for both the institutions, or if it is from Cambrian, and the same in as one document, one PDF document will be good enough.
Thank you so much.
Okay, the final question.
Hi, Sibin. I apologize that you already answered my question, but I had some issue in my audio, so I couldn't hear the explanation you gave to my question. Would you mind giving an answer again?
Okay, for that one, you have to repeat the question. I don't know which question you.
Oh, yeah. So my first question was like, I already submitted my PGWP, and in the national identity document, I wrote passport number details by mistake.
Okay. So, the two answers that you provided is not affecting your application. So you don't need to worry. You don't need to resubmit any application, because employment section I already mentioned. It's as per the IRCC guidelines itself. It's not required. The national ID, that's usually students do the same thing. Like they attach the same information as the passport. If it is again passport, IRCC doesn't need that information because they already have that information just 2 lines prior to this one. So they're looking for additional information. If you do not have that one, you can simply say no. If you added the same information, they will consider as a no, and they will process your application. So you don't need to worry. Wait for the decision from IRCC on your current application. All the best with your post-graduation work permit.
Thank you so much. It was a great answer.
Okay, thank you all the students for this. Sibin, the final question is when and how can get this presentation, students?
We don't have the presentation, but if you contact international advising at cambriancollege.ca or myself or Marlon, we have a PDF document that helps you to apply for post-graduation document that includes your how to create an account, how to check the eligibility, the same three forms or 3 instruction guidelines. So once you email us, we can email you back with that information. Please send either myself or Marlon an email through international advising at cambriancollege.ca so that we can send you that document. If any, okay, go ahead, Marlon.
No, I'm just saying goodbye, Sibin. You're tired.
If you do not have any further questions, thank you so much for coming, and enjoy your long weekend. Happy Canada Day.
Happy Canada Day. Bye, guys.
Sorry, Marlon, I have a question. Is this our last visit for us that are graduating? Like, you guys won't invite us again for immigration sessions or what?
Technically, you can still get us. You can still come to us. You might want to send an email to international advice and say, you know what, I graduated from Cambrian College and I have this question. But normally, most of the time, students they don't contact us because they don't need more student related questions. Your question will be or might be about immigration from now on. Okay. So, and we do not normally we do not engage in PR or other things, and yet you can still send us questions, or maybe we have some answers for your questions. But you're welcome to stick around, to come to our office, or if you still keep your access to ICENT, you will still get some information from our meetings.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Bye. Have a nice weekend, guys. Happy Canada Day.
Same to you.
Bye.